use compound to get out Dai, you can when you use compound to borrow ether, then you can use swap to swap ether for Dai, and in turn you can lend your friends Dai. And remember what we just talked about. The difference is 10%, right? Just when we go back to this slide, okay, it can be 10%. As a result, you benefit from arbitrage, from this kind of arbitrage. So in the coming 10 minutes, I will quickly answer these questions. Why the discrepancy? Okay, and but we academia must first quickly talk about risk and security before we answer that question. Why the discrepancy? Okay, so Uniswap is what I just mentioned. Okay, so can you see the risk above? Okay, next slide is just the user interface. It's very easy with browser or your MetaMask, which is a browser plugin, and then you can do the swap, do this online financing. Okay, and with this open financing, the risk, one risk is described in these two slides. Okay, so for DeFi, you need to ask what's the current price of Ether, for example. So the risk is not only like exchange, but you ask the exchange for the current Ether price, just like you ask glassofdata.com and you get the Ether price. And so the risk is double-fold. It can be risk involved with exchange, and also it can be risk involved with this Oracle contract. Okay, if Oracle contract get hacked, for example, when it return like Ether price is $1,000, for example, then you can lose money. The DeFi platform can lose money. Currently, for Compound Finance, the collateralization ratio is 150%. So you collateralize $150, you can get $100 in Dai. It's called CDP, collateralized state position. Okay. So this the DeFi system. This the next homework. Some people can do the software engineering. Some people can do the this is for Okiwara-san, for non computer science people, for people in management school, and they can do the ecosystem design, and some people do the marketing. Okay, all these slides are on our course website, so you can just freely look at it and download it. Okay, so for the compound, this is the interface. Okay, and the compound finance. Quick recap is it's an open financial system for financial inclusion. They offer interest and borrowing. Okay, and next slide is more description. Okay, it's a P2P system because it's not like a Damo, it's not like a Dharma.io. This one is you do P2P. Dharma is P2P, like you know who you borrow money from. Like I borrow money from David, but if for Compound Finance, people all putting money into the pool. The moment you put money into the pool, you start gaining interest. Interest rate can be 9.64%, right? So the moment you put money into Compound Finance smart contract, you start earning interest. Okay, after you start earning interest, some people may start borrowing money from this pool. Okay, so that's why it's not P2P. You don't know where your money, where the money you borrow, you don't know where it is from, where it comes from. You only know it's from a pool, right? And everyone gets the same interest rate for the same moments. And it's it's not credit-based loans. It's a mortgage. You need to collateralize $150 to gain to borrow $100. Okay, so it's not like a, it's more like a pawn shops than like a banks，这比较像当铺啊。好，你就压了150块，你拿100块出来。你可能拿，你通常压150块，你不会刚好拿100块，你可能拿90块出来。好，因为你不要压线，那个太危险了。那如果价格一波动的话，你可能就爆仓了。好，那根据你 according to your supply and demand, you will decide your interest rate. It's all on smart contracts. Okay, the quick question is how do you where does the money come from? The 10% discrepancy, where does it come from? I think it comes from the 小蜜蜂. Okay, 小蜜蜂 is the terminology we use for those traders. 好像谢董这样，他就是他 he think there's enough profit to be earned more than 10%, for example. Then he will do long or short. Okay, long 就是融资 ，short 就是融券。好，那 depending on how depending on your outlook on the Ethereum price. If you think Ether price is going to rise, then you can take the long position. You borrow money from exchange, and because you think you are going to make money, then you are willing to pay this 10% interest rate. So you buy cryptocurrency and expect the price to go up, Ether price to go up, and you can make the money back. On the other hand, some people may take the short position because he think Ether price will go down here. Okay, then in this case it's called 龙券. Then you borrow cryptocurrency and then you sell it now because you think it will go down, right? And later on you can buy back with cheaper price and you pay the cryptocurrency back. Okay. So this way, both way, people think he can make 10% more than 10% margin. So that's a way for them to because the cryptocurrency market has been volatile. Like the annual return rates for Ether so far is easily 130%，就每年大家都变成2.3倍嘛。你如果看过去3年，现在是180块，可是2016年的上半年才10块钱左右。为什么从10块钱到180块？因为你可以看 every year it's 2.3x, right? So of course it go up and down. It's volatile, but if you benchmark against like 3 years ago, Ether price has gone up like 2.3 times 2.3 times 2.3, right? Because it goes up from $10 to 180. It goes up 18 times. 18 times is about 2.3 times 2.3 times 2.3 for 3 years. Okay, so if you think it can go up 130% per year, then you are willing to pay this interest rate, pay this 10% interest rate. Okay, so when the unfortunate case happen, for example, if the price go down too much, like I say, the collateralization ratio is 150%, right? So if the price go down too much, you may need to close the position. You may need to be forced to close the position. Okay, so it happens if your margin balance is too low. Okay, so it's on smart contract. Smart contract will sell your funds and market price. But say my example is that the collateralization ratio is 151%, and because I think 151 is easier for me to illustrate the case. Okay, so you put in $151 for collateral as a collateral, and that means okay, say borrower gets $100 at the beginning, and then if the Ether price drop, the collateral value may trigger the contract to close the position. Okay, at this time, who are willing to help you close the position, that person need to make some money as well, right? So you may need to offer a lower price for him, right? You just need to pay 150 to get this $150 worth of cryptocurrency like Ether, right? So this the people who help you cross the position will earn $10, and the borrower lose $10, and also the remaining $40 need to pay the interest to the lender, because lender gain 10%, about 10% interest rate, right? And also you pay the interest to other CDP collateral debt position, collateralized debt position lenders, and the platform need to have some platform fee. It's called 流动费用. The platform people need to make some money too. Okay, so to answer Vitalik's question, the money come from traders, the 小蜜蜂. Okay, be it long position trader or short position trader, they make money. And finally, I'll conclude with these two slides. The risk has two angles. Okay, one is price risk, the other is systematic risk. Okay, the price risk is that people know about price risk, so I will talk quickly here. Okay, the stable coin still have price volatility, right? Even though DAI claim to be one-on-one pegged with the US dollar, but sometimes 1.01, sometimes it's 0.9. So yes, lower volatility, but still some volatility there. Okay, and people know about exchange rate risk, right? Because when you go from Ether to DAI, it may have forex rate risk, foreign exchange kind of risk. Like the example I mentioned earlier, for example, I borrow DAI using Ether, because DAI has higher lending costs. DAI is 12% interest rate, right? So I lent DAI and I use arbitrage. But you see the risk there is when you do Uniswap and get the DAI and you try to lend people DAI, because you know it's 11.5%, like Vitalik said. But remember, although it's 11.5%, there's a risk there. The rate can change, and sometimes it's not as good as you thought. Of course, there's a liquidity risk. Okay, the next slide is about the systematic risk. Okay, because we in academia must talk about security and risk as well, other than finance. There's some science part to it as well, like the security analysis and the risk analysis. There's a platform risk, like Robinhood. People know about what happened to Robinhood earlier this year. Okay, and like I said earlier, the Oracle contract may get hacked. The DeFi platform may be fooled, and maybe fooled to think Ether price is $1,000, okay, instead of $100. And there's a smart contract risk if if there's a bug with Uniswap smart contract or Compound smart contract, then that's bad. Okay, but the one to the right is the most common one. If you lose your private key, then you don't even have your assets to begin with. Okay, so this is the risk involved. Okay, so let me summarize these two slides. Basically, what I was trying to say is now with fintech, with blockchain, now we can do a lot of things. We can do DeFi. We can do P2P lending in the insurance and so on. But with greater power, with easier access for more people, more money flow, comes greater responsibility. Okay, thanks. And now 我们就更多人回来，我们可不可以掌声请我们的 CEO Dean Sandy? Yeah, and he got a cold, but he still comes and give a talk. So 我们真的很感谢，非常感谢。It's okay.